Good afternoon, and welcome to another GoPro moment in Aaron's Test Kitchen. This afternoon, we're going to be making a very nice cocktail. Now, a while back, I had the opportunity to go to Austin, Texas, to visit a very nice young lady who introduced me to a drink at this restaurant known as a Mexican martini. And after having that martini, I was very much hooked, so I came home and I had to look up the recipe for this particular martini. Did find a few variations of the recipe, but I found one that I particularly liked more than any other. Tasted about close to what they were making there. So we're going to use that particular recipe. However, I am going to add a little twist to it at the end to make it a little bit different. Well, we're going to find out if the taste is going to be that much different than it was before. So we're going to get started. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this martini glass that I have full with ice. I'm going to ice it down. In so doing, you fill it with ice and then you put water in the glass and you set it aside. And it's important to really do this before actually starting the mix of the drink. And that's so it gives it time to cool down. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my shaker. As you can see, I have my shaker and it's full of ice. And I have my shot glass. And I'm going to start the mix. I'm going to start with 2 ounces of tequila. As you can see, this is known as Camarena, and it's a very good tequila. It's a silver tequila. And I'm going to place 2 ounces into here, like so. Then I'm going to go to the next ingredient, which is triple sec. Actually, the true recipe calls for Cointreau. Cointreau, however, is a very expensive orange liqueur. And so I've opted to use triple sec because it's a much cheaper version of it. However, there might be a slight taste difference. So if you really want that full taste and you got the money, go ahead and buy Cointreau. But you know, for those like me that are on a budget, I'm going to use triple sec. I need 1.5 ounces of triple sec. Okay. Yeah, it's about 1.5 ounces. Okay. Now the next ingredient is very simple. It's pretty much what you use to make margaritas with. But even though we're not making a margarita, this is sweet and sour mix. We're going to go ahead and use 2 ounces of that for this martini. There we go. And then we'll use 1 ounce of lime juice. I'm using the real lime, 100% lime juice. So it's not sweetened or anything of that nature. So not roses. Some people might think, oh, roses lime. No, that's sweetened. You don't want to use the roses. You want to use the real lime juice. Next, we're going to use some orange juice. I'm going to use 2 ounces of that. And then for the last part of the mix, we're going to use squirt. Now, the recipes that I've seen and the one that I'm using actually calls for Sprite. However, I was walking down the aisle in a grocery store and I thought, I wonder what squirt would taste like. I mean, it's close, but a little different. So I'm going to try this squirt and see how this comes out. I'm going to put a splash of that. Okay, that's all we need. Just a splash squirt. Or Sprite. If you want to use Sprite and go with the original, please do so. Use Sprite. Okay, now I'm going to place the lid on my shaker. I'm going to shake it up a little. Okay. Let that sit for a second. And I'm going to take my martini glass with the ice and water, and I'm going to pour that back into this mixing cup. That made a little mess there, but okay, it's not a big issue. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lemon. Now you can use lime or lemon, or I'm sorry, onion. But you can use lime or lemon or anything else. I didn't have either lime or lemon, so the onion seems to work for me for right now. And I'm going to coat the rim of the glass with this onion. Okay. And onion really isn't too far from what a martini. You can use cocktail onions or garnish in martinis. So, you know, just a matter of preference. It's not going to be a really big taste difference. And I'm going to place and coat this in salt, as you can see. I like to take my time with that. Voila. And we'll move that out of the way. I'm going to take 2 olives. I use green olives with the red pimentos, which don't actually grow in the olives. It's a total different thing there, but I like them. Drop a couple of those in there, no problem. Then I take my top off of my shaker to leave the strainer on, making sure I hold really good, and I strain the liquid into the glass. And voila, there you have it, the Mexican martini. And let's go ahead and give it a taste. Oh wow, this is really yummy. And actually I think that squirt brings it a little closer to what I remember it tasting like when I was in Texas. So that might be on to something. Well, here you have it, Mexican martini in Aaron's Test Kitchen. Go ahead and try one yourself.